Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show. It is Ghost Month, but first, let me get a sound check. Please, anyone in chat, I'm watching the chat. Let me see a sound check. Hey everybody, need a sound check, please. My chat is not working. What? All right, let's cat test. Cat test. Cat test. Okay, I got good sound check. Tim is saying, I can hear you. Alrighty then. Destic C, good deal. Excellent. Let me take that banner down. They call them banners on StreamYard. Okay, I got a little bit of a thing to go over today. And I wanted to first talk about something we can all get experience with is the haunted dolls. I have experience with very limited experience, but still, I don't have any haunted dolls, not from lack of trying, right? First of all, welcome back to the Quantum Show. Hey, you know what? We support our supporters. So look in the description of the show and you will see a long list of people that have shows and I urge you to go subscribe to their channels. I'm a tough room, okay? So if their link lives below, then they are definitely quantum, and I have watched them for a long time. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is because I just came from Michigan Bigfoot uh, UFO Wayne. Okay, he's got such a guest over there tonight. Oh man, his link is in the description. It lives here. His link stays here. Wayne, shout out, and Bigfoot Michigan UFO investigators. The link is in the description. So yeah, they were talking. Professor Ford, I believe her name was. My memory is so fleeting. I was trying to get my mind on this, so I wasn't really paying attention to what I was watching. Okay, but it was she's so good. She's talking about everything we talk about. All right. She is a PhD psychology major. She is in that field, but it started with that. Now, let me talk about just a little bit. Now, we're going to go with Ghost Month, but I wanted to talk about the mainstream, and I don't mean mainstream news. I'm talking about muggledom. Okay, PhDs, college degrees. What that stuff does is it gets your gears going. It gets you accustomed to thinking in a method, so you can assimilate this information, right? And I'm all for the personal experience. Get your schooling in, even if it's just classes you take online. Seriously, train yourself to think for clarity's sake. Okay. Whew. All right. Yeah. Hey, Derek. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Got Tim, moderator Tim, Dorothy Hawkins, Destic C, Raven is here or was here. Shadow and Sun, Derek Galloway. Who else we got that I haven't seen? I believe that's it for right now. All right. Yeah. Quantum up. Straight up. Okay. And I just wanted to give shout out to everybody. I just came from Bigfoot, Michigan Paranormal. Excellent show. Excellent guest. All right. Please go see that show. I'm on Twitter. Links in the description and also on the About tab. And she was talking about all the stuff we talk about here, including getting technical information. She was talking about how to make crystal wands from a technological standpoint and how to grow those crystals and how to cut those quartz crystals. We talk about that here. We talk about that right here. And she's a PhD in psychology. What's she talking about the quantum for? Because she is quantum. And she was also going over things she's learned about the pyramids through, it's not channeling, it's downloads. I thought downloads was a fancy thing for, I had an idea based on an assumption based on something I read. It is not. All right. I was able, oh man, we're still doing Ghost Month for sure. I'm going to make a banner real quick. Got to make a banner. Okay. And we're still doing Ghost Month, but I had to shout that out. But we are still doing Ghost Month. Okay. All right. Now, back to Ghost Month. That was great. I just had to give the people a shout out because, I mean, it very rarely happens when we get a great show to watch that isn't attacking someone, staying on the negative. And I don't know if Dorothy, I don't know if I shouted you out, but welcome back to the Quantum Show. If you're here, you're Quantum. Hit like and subscribe. That was my phone over here. Let's see. Yeah, proudly standing at 28 frames per second here. Okay. All right, Dorothy, I have not checked my Twitter yet, but I got something. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you, Dorothy. I will extend the invites. Excellent. Thank you. Yes, like and subscribe. Share this thing out because, see, I'm a small show. I'm a one guy, one cam operation. Every now and again, I will put up some webcam footage or some dash cam footage or when I walk around to a place or something. I will do that. I tried to go to that thing earlier this week. It didn't work out. Parking was $30 for a $10 van. No, thank you. So yeah, I gotta give the shout outs to the people who have literally have encouraged me and inspired me to do this, including Shadow and Sun. You heard me. Shadow and Sun is out there. So, okay, back to Ghost Month, right? Ghost. Gonna try to stick to Ghost Month. So, haunted dolls. I have never had a haunted doll myself, not one that I knew was haunted, but Leslie has. Now, if y'all don't know, Leslie is my real life, not internet girlfriend, okay? And we have had to, yeah, we have had to, be geographically separated because that's the way life happens sometimes. She has an eye for ghost dolls, for haunted dolls. Robert the doll is the penultimate in haunted dolls because I don't know what's going on with that dude, right? Derek is saying Robert the doll, yeah, in Florida. Holy cow. That thing has had so much coverage. Not just the big shows, little shows like mine. All right. Robert the doll, yeah. But I'm talking personal experience, okay? Here's something that happened with a haunted doll in my presence at Leslie's place. We were doing, I don't know, I think some shipping and receiving because we, did, hey, Jeanette, we did some eBaying and buying and selling online stuff together. And we still do collaborate like that from time to time. She doesn't have a channel, though I'm encouraging her to do a channel. Life is kind of keeping her busy. But we were doing some shipping and receiving one day. And she had a doll makeup head. It was a big one, okay? It was a big one. It was a little bit less than life size, right? Of my head. Maybe a real girl head. I don't know. But it was a doll's head that was a little bit less than life size. And she had a 3-tier large desk. Big heavy deal. It was awesome, right? Not in a Walmart shop. And she had this thing facing forward. Now we're nowhere near the desk. And this place is built, her house is built very sturdy. Like when you walk through it, the floors don't shake the walls and the furniture. It doesn't happen. It was very sturdy built, you know. And we're over on the other side of the room using her bed as a tabletop to package stuff to go out. And she had told me about this haunted doll head, the makeup doll. Hey, Lynn, welcome back. And Tim, hey, I think you just walked in the door. Awesome. Talking about haunted dolls at the moment. We got a whole bunch to go, right? Hey, Raven, I shouted you out. I saw you here before. So, right now, going over some haunted doll things, right? And we've tag team. Me and Leslie have tag team this stuff. So, she had this makeup doll head, and it was facing forward. We were doing our stuff over on the other side of the room, packing and shipping. I look over, it had turned towards looking at the door, where it's now 90 degrees turned. Seriously, I saw this happen. I didn't see it move, but I saw it turn. And then in a little while later, now, like I said, no one is bumping this big heavy desk. No, it's not shaking. The doll head falls off onto the dog's bed of her dog's bed, and it's quiet in here. We're just, conversing as we're doing our thing. I noticed it turned, and then we heard it fall. And she goes, "Oh, no, 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 no." Grabs it up and takes it and puts it somewhere else. That is some personal experience, okay? And while it wasn't super scary, that is an example of a haunted doll, and it was a makeup doll head, a doll makeup head. It wasn't, you know, it didn't jump across the room, throw plates or nothing like that, but it did have some activity there. Hey, Frank, welcome back. Talking haunted dolls, it's Ghost Month, right? Ghost Month. This is the last show of Ghost Month because Halloween's coming up on Tuesday. Yeah, Halloween's coming up on Tuesday. And this is the last show that I will be having from the Quantum Show for Ghost Month. Talking haunted dolls. Now, okay, Tim, you gotta go. You gotta go. I know you get whoops. I get you. And oh, also sorry about. I gotta work tomorrow, so Friday now is the show. Hopefully, everybody will have got the memo and can come if they're gonna come. But okay, Ghost Month, haunted dolls. That's not the only doll experience. All right. There was an experience that there were two. Okay. Now these are big dolls. These are big child-sized dolls. Let me get the details going, right? Because these things happen, and when these happened a while ago, I haven't had anything recently like that, but I haven't talked about these things here. So this is it. All right. The first big doll. She had it was a vintage toy doll that was very tall, like 3 feet tall doll, 3.5 feet tall, 3 feet tall doll. It wasn't fully articulated, like 5 POA, the head and the shoulders and the hips. That was it, right? However, she had this experience and I witnessed it. She had a name, I don't remember the name. The doll had the name. But it was a vintage life-size doll, and she has a garage work area. So she would put things, just end up stacking things on top of each other. Anytime anything was stacked on top of this doll, if that doll had anything on top of it, the whole garage would get knocked over one piece at a time. The biggest thing I ever saw was her washing machine and dryer scooted. It was on a little pedestal, scooted forward or back against the wall where they wouldn't work. And these are heavy, okay? They weren't dancing themselves around. They were either pushed forward where it's hanging off the sledge or pushed back into the wall where they couldn't operate. It was and you could hear it from the house. The garage was attached to the house, right? It was the coolest experience. She tended to get freaked out by things. I don't get freaked out. I try to encounter, right? And talk to these entities now. But I've given up on fear. Yeah, you know what? I'm finding I have a few tells where I get nervous about something and I touch my face. I think that might be all of us though. We get nervous, we touch our face. It's self reassuring, self reassuring to touch your face to make sure you feel good and whatever. And like, well, I've been having a little piece of hair tickle my ear and it just got to me right then. But she had that was one large doll, and that was ongoing. All of these things got sold with disclaimers, haunted, right? Disclaimers, haunted. And well, one day she was on Etsy and she goes, "Oh, Nathan, I love this thing. I can't wait till I can get money to get it." It was a ventriloquist doll from the 60s and it had damage on it. And the lady was asking $40. I was like, $40? Cha-ching, let's get it. She picked it out. Yes, it was haunted. It was calling to her on her quantum link. I'm the one that calls it that. She don't call it that. She got it, and the lady was expecting me to try to haggle with her. She listed it for $40. I was like, no haggling. This is your asking price. I pay. PayPal, pay now. And very happy with the transaction. But it was a ventriloquist doll from the 60s. And it was, oh, Frank, I would love to hear that. It was definitely haunted. She said different things happened. This was a poltergeisty haunting with the ventriloquist doll. Things would be moved. It was exploring, going around, messing with things, just picking stuff up, doing stuff around the house. I think something about a single flower in a bunch in a small vase was taken out. I don't remember. I have to get her back in chat or call her. She's busy right at the moment. And get some more details. I may get her as an interview. I tried to get a couple of people as an interview for tonight's show, but they either never got back to me or they're just not doing things right now. That's okay. Right, Nurse Nancy doll, possibly. The big tall one, possibly. Well, Frank, maybe I'll tell you about my sister's haunted doll. Yes, please do. During the panel. Panel's coming up after the show. So those are some personal examples of haunted dolls. Now, I don't advocate to those who just want a thrill to go out and buy something called a haunted doll on eBay or nothing, because most likely you're going to get ripped off. It's like buying a Dybbuk box. Forget it. They're fake, right? Some things have had things done to them, but being a Dybbuk box, they are so rare. Okay? They are so rare. If they exist at all. So, see, Hellier guys did an investigation into all Dybbuk boxes. They got 6 or 7 on their channel. Right now, it's a Patreon channel. It's not on YouTube. It's a Patreon channel. They went and you have to be a member of their Patreon to watch their videos. But I'd say it's worth it. The weekend weird podcast is good. All right. And shout out to the Hellier guys. Weekend Weird. No harm, no foul. I wasn't trying to step on you guys' toes or talk bad about you, to you, or nothing. All love, okay? I wasn't trying to nose in. I wasn't trying to be mean to you guys. I really wasn't. So that being said, oh, something flying around. I wasn't being mean. Those guys, Hellier guys, the Weekend Weird podcast, I'll leave a link after the show. So just shout out to you guys. I've tried to talk to you. I don't know. Maybe I was coming across the wrong way. Maybe. But they do haunted stuff. They do Dybbuk boxes. They found that most Dybbuk boxes are all hype. And they have yet to find a real one. Even the first one that Zach Bagans got hold of has been proven to be all hype. Or maybe it's manifested by the owners through the hype. Because there are things called tulpas, right? And tulpas are created. Tulpas are your little kids' imaginary friends that they actually do create. There are whole groups of people, borderline cults, okay, but they're not cults. Borderline, they are groups of people, groups of young adults, teenagers, and younger that create tulpas on a regular basis. Now, I don't know if they know what they're doing. I've just seen the groups. I haven't been a part of them, but they do exist. And there are user groups. You can look on Twitter. You can look on Pinterest. You can look on the socials, right? And what's that one? Reddit. Reddit is okay. Reddit is the wild west of the internet nowadays, okay? And you got to be careful with Reddit, but the Tulpa user groups are there. And something else I wanted to talk about were created manifested beings, right? Tulpas. Now, I did this before. I've covered this before with golems, tulpas, and AIs. That's an old show. I should go back over that. But tulpas, golems, and AI. Whoa, y'all. It is a whole big mess of shows right there, right? And uh, we're here from Haunted Dolls. So the tulpas, some of them are tulpas. Some of them are manifested, created beings. However, not all of them are. You can go on these other channels. Slaptam is a good one. All right. I will try to leave a link to both of these places in the show after the show, in the description after the panel tomorrow. And now Slaptam, he collects videos from the internet and republishes them. But he does good work. They're really good, right? And he has shown there's a lot of haunted doll activity in South America. It's very strange. So much more stuff happens in South America. Well, their minds are more open to these kinds of things, I suppose. Here in the West, in North America, where we're all modernized, the first world, whatever that means, we don't really look at the mystical on a regular basis. We do here on the Quantum Show, and all the links in the description. We pay attention to that stuff every day, but most of the people don't. That's where we get the term Muggle from. Actually, it's Harry Potter, but it applies. It is a perfect descriptor for people who do not pay attention to the mystical, but that's not us. Literally, everyone in the chat pays attention to the mystical here. So, in some form or fashion, right? Be it ghosts, aliens, psychic phenomenon, you name it. We all do it. All of us do it here. So haunted objects, right? And poltergeist. I did put poltergeist out there, right? But sticking with the objects for the moment, things can have spirits attached to them. We have got somebody mentioned it in the chat, Robert the doll. I don't know what the heck is going on with Robert Doll. I do not want to know. I had a chance to go there a few months ago when I went to meet Rich from GUFON. I did not go there. I did not want to go there. Don't need that in my life. Okay. Derek is talking about something that happened, current events. Derek, email me. Email is the best way. Forget PayPal, forget Patreon, forget Facebook, or even here, right? Email me. Email is in the About tab of the page. That's the best way to get in touch with me. I need some clarification on that, Derek. Okay. So, yeah, I tried to look for links, but I couldn't find anything current. However, haunted objects, Robert the Doll is one. I do not need that in my life. I recommend no one go looking for Robert the Doll. So many people have gone down there and had such, yeah, my email, all my contact information is in the About tab of the YouTube page if you're on a computer. I don't know how to do it on a phone, but there is videos, live, something about. And I put a big bio. Hey, YouTubers and bloggers and podcasters and all these people, when you say link in bio, what the hell does that mean? Where do we find your bio? Okay? Put a link out there. Whenever you say link in bio, put a link or explain it, because that just frustrates me. All these people with these TikTok style videos. Oh, anyway, sorry. Lots of coffee, well fed, took on all vitamins, so I'm kind of wound up, and I got all these stories that I have experienced. Want to get them across. Yeah, there is an About tab on the YouTube webpage when you look from Windows or Apple or something, right? Not a phone. I don't know how to do it on the phone. There is an email address in there. I guarantee it. So, but the haunted objects and haunted dolls in South America and Mexico. Mexico's big on them. Slapped Ham shows a whole lot of big ones, small ones. There was one here fairly recently, within 10 years, of a recently made doll that had a spirit attached to it. And I think it was from a movie, Little Mermaid, maybe. And it was being thrown. It might have been a prank, because you've heard of the pranks of someone bought a book that was a scary book and they threw it in the lake, and somebody buys another copy, runs it under the water and sink and puts it in the drawer. That's a prank, right? That's a prank. So this was a recent mass-produced doll, similar to a Barbie, that was rumored to be haunted because it got thrown away and it showed back up 2 or 3 times. Could have been a prank. Hard to say. Pranks can go on for years and nobody say a word about them, or nobody owns up to it. I got pranked like that one time. It wasn't no physical evidence, but when I was working, speaking of haunted stuff, I talk about stuff everywhere I go, right? It filters out the muggles who can't handle it. And I was at work when I was cleaning the bar in El Paso early mornings, and it was the end of the shift, and I was taking out a little bit of garbage and dealing with stuff outside. No customers had come in yet. It's 8 o'clock in the morning at a bar, and nobody's there yet. And the back patio had a wooden fence all around it, and one of the cooks decided to mess with me, and he got away with it for a while, right? Until I found out. He walked while I was doing something on the back patio, knocked on the fence and walked away and never said anything about it for couple of months, I heard about it. I was like, "Oh, yeah, you got me. You got me." I thought, well, the place is haunted, but that's beside the point. El Paso, all haunted. Also all haunted, especially this area. This area was it was off of Mesa Street, downtown party district, very commercial, lots of lots of old buildings, lots of new buildings attached to old buildings. Yeah, they do that weird in El Paso. They don't tear much down. It's kind of like some places in Kentucky. You go see now from when you're a few blocks away, the place looks bombed out. All right, it literally looks bombed out. You go to the building that looks bombed out from 2 blocks away, brand new storefront. The top of the building is looks bombed out. It is nuts. That's the way they kind of do some of that stuff in El Paso. And he knocked on the fence and got me thinking. I had an encounter for a couple of months. Har got me good. That was years ago though, and I've honed my investigative skills a little bit better since then. Okay, and Slapped Ham has a bunch of haunted doll stuff on his page. I'll put a link in there afterwards. And they're scary, dude. Some of these things, Island of Dolls off of Mexico, where dolls that are electronic, have no batteries, play their noises. They move, they reposition themselves. It is crazy. Island of Dolls, Mexico. I'm taking notes. Island of Dolls, Mexico. It's you have to get taken there by the proprietor, and he inherited it from his grandfather. I don't remember the story. Ghost Hunters also, or Ghost Adventures covered it, but lots of other people have covered it too. It's an entire island. You just got to get the guy to take you out there because it's private property. And I don't know, take him some tequila. I don't know what the deal is. I never got a chance to go there. And let's see, talking about haunted items, tulpas. Moving right along. Poltergeists. Poltergeists are a whole nother. You got to know what you're talking about. All right, you have to be definitive because you have attached spirits that get called poltergeists all the time. Poltergeists are not ghosts. All right, the word I know, okay, old news, the word means noisy ghost. However, it has been found. Now, none of this is scientifically documented. It is all grassroots. Mainstream science is not going to document ghost hauntings. They won't do it. They're just not going to do it. They want to keep their funds. They want to keep their money coming in. However, I have read about. I've never seen one. Okay, the rock shop in El Paso was not a poltergeist, right? Right. Frank's saying poltergeist or poultrygeist. My little group, when I was in El Paso, which included Joe, got called to a rock shop. Now we're talking crystals and shiny rocks and rock tumblers, and this was a business. But obviously, stones and crystals have mystical links. Guess who went there? Those guys. And we were asked to go by there and check it out and clear it out. Well, it wasn't haunted, okay? There was a manifestation of all these feelings, and being a rock shop, some of the rocks held on to that energy, okay? And there was one person there. She, you know what she had? to mythical proportions. Charm. She had charm. She was cute and friendly and approachable, and she would come to you and make you like her. She was very. Uh, the Christian would say, "It's the devil," right? That girl is the devil, and she's one of them. She was giving this thing a face. It was a tulpa. It wasn't. It was. It was a weird set of circumstances. Okay, this now there was. They called it a cry room in the back. We got called to go there. Joe, me, and our circle at the time, which I was a junior, very junior member, but I had the knack for stuff like this even back then. Um, but anyway, we had called to go to this place, Rock Shop. There was in the back, it was a cry room. The mystics, the people, they did tarot card readings. Now the owners, they didn't care about none of this stuff. They didn't care about none of it. They cared about having a business selling cool rocks to tourists and people like that, right? They didn't care about any of this stuff. They just, their customers were talking about it. So this girl that was there who was giving this thing a face, it wasn't haunted. There was no ghost, no spirit, no lingering, nothing. It was a tulpa. Now, looking back, it was a tulpa. That this girl had taken all these emotions that were being kind of absorbed and put back out by all these stones and the environment. She was giving it a face. She was imagining it looked like a big dude walking around, big scary dude. And guess what it came up as? A big scary dude. People would see a big scary dude. Because I went in and I was at the time doing pyromancy, right? As well as your normal herbal witchcraft stuff. I was brand new. I was new to Circle, juniorist of junior members. So we went over there, but I had all these hormones going on because I was 22 years old, 20 years old. And I was into the fire aspect of a lot of stuff because of that. And this girl was giving this thing a form. So the customers and people who give tarot card readings, they did that there too, right? And I did runes at the time, still do. It's been a while. Don't ask me. But she was giving this thing a face, a form. People were complaining, saying, "Oh, this place is haunted." Well, it wasn't. It had a tulpa going on. It wasn't conscious. It was all this energy that was given form by this girl who was bad news for her friends. And she got scared. She goes, "Oh, it's haunted, and this is what it looks like." And she was forming it. She didn't realize. I don't think she knew what she was doing. Right. Little side note about that girl. I was driving a little white truck. She asked to drive my truck. I've never met this person before, right? Never met this person before. She asked to drive my truck. And I was like, no. Now, I don't know why, but I've got an edge against charm and things like that, where smooth talkers, okay, I've got an edge against that, especially when it comes to women. Um, Not going there mostly about why, but she tried to be real sweet, and she was all rubbing my arm and stuff, talking about, "Oh, you have a neat little truck. Can I drive it?" Because I had a Hot Wheels sticker on it because it looked like a toy truck. I was like, no. And I made excuses, but let me tell you, the urge was there to hand her my key and say, "Be careful." I did not. Logic and, excuse me, I did not do that. That would have been the worst of ideas because this place is downtown, and driving downtown, you get dings in your vehicle. Doesn't even matter. But she wanted to drive my truck. I was like, I don't think so. I was thinking, I don't know you. I literally just met you today. No, I don't even know if you've got a license. All that stuff, everything. Okay, yeah, Kathy 40. That's where I was too. I was over there too. Dorothy, I put that. Okay, okay. I was over there too, and I shouted out, "His link lives in the show. Wayne's link lives in the show." What a show, man! Oh man, she was talking about everything we talk about here, wasn't she? Wasn't she? She's talking about crystals and having downloads and just knowing how to build these technical things. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I even got a couple of shout outs. I PayPal'd the show. I donated to that show. And yeah, definitely amazing. I think I want to get her book. I'm going to be getting her book, I think. So, but that was the rock shop, and it was not haunted, right? It was a tulpa. That's something else, tulpas. And now I created as an exercise using astral bits, astral material. It grows back, okay? And I told Lynn this behind the scenes one day that I created a coyote tulpa, a coyote spirit being, and I gave it the aspects of a coyote, the trickster. Okay, not mean, not mean at the time, not mean. Just go and be alive. I don't know if it got reabsorbed, but for us, it grows back, right? Our spirit stuff, we can imagine a pipe going from here, a pipe of spirit stuff, going to now geometric shapes are the best way to do this because when you send them into a place, people are least likely to notice a cube or a sphere or a cylinder or a pyramid, things like that, and or not get alarmed by them. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Dorothy. Um, yeah, she's saying that Wayne and Michelle shouted me out, and I had to go. I told them I was doing my show in a few minutes. This show right here, right now. I am not going to step on their show. I just say I got to go do my show. See you later. Bye. I didn't give them a link or nothing in the chat because, well, that's just not cool. They had a very great show. Great show. Link is in the description. I like getting shout outs. And that's why I like to shout out everybody in the chat, right? I try to say everybody. And go back to the rock shop girl. Yeah, glamour spells are insidious. They make you want to do things you would not normally do. And I don't know if this girl was doing that or just had natural charisma. She definitely was pretty. And she had this happen last night, right? I had to run to the gas station and at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I get there. No, this is not a haunted thing. This is a charisma thing. Okay. I get there and there is this beater car at one of the pumps pulled up. Lights are on, car is turned off. I was like, that's weird because you don't want to run your battery down. Okay. And I go in there and there's this pretty girl standing at the desk talking to the guy. Pretty girl. And now the car, right? The car is a beater. It is a junker, and it's got stuff all in it like somebody's living in it. And I didn't know. I was like, well, it's none of my business, right? I walk in, very pretty girl, buying a couple of little things, right? And hey, Diane, buying a couple of things, and she walks out past me and bums a cigarette off me And I give her one and she goes on, right? So I am instantly attracted, right? There, she's very pretty. 21, 22 years old. Looks a little bit tired, but not bad. And uh, I could go into a full description, but it's not important, right? Very pretty. And the guy at the desk says, "Man, a cute chick comes in here, thinks she can get free stuff." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what'd she do? By the way, give me this and 3 of this. I normally get 2. Give me 3 of this." And he starts to ring me up. "Yeah, she comes in, grabs a donut, and says, 'This is free, right?'" And he goes, No." I'm like, "Oh, she did that? Give me just 2." I was gonna buy her a pack of cigarettes, but I'm not anymore because she's trying to use that kind of attitude now. Asking for leftover donuts while being nice is okay, right? Because these guys, they make donuts at night, and the old stuff just has to be thrown away. It's edible, it's just not sellable. I've done that. I've said, "Hey, if can I please do this?" Not grab one and expect it to be free. No, that's rude and presumptuous. So she went on, but there is an example of um, natural charm. She wasn't doing anything that I'm aware of, right? But that kind of thing happens. And unless you got your guard up or you're wise enough to realize what's going on, that happens. Back to the rock shop. This girl, now we went in, we ended up not doing a banishing of anything because there was nothing to banish. Okay. There was some cleanup to do. So, what I don't remember exactly what we did, but Joe set up a process going on using witchcraft techniques to get the energy gone. Some grounding. Um, I think he programmed a crystal, but he didn't call it that. I don't remember exactly what we did, but it wasn't haunted. Everybody said it was haunted, so we went in ready for the biggest, baddest, meanest things ever, and it wasn't there. It was a tulpa with lingering energy. So we went that route, and it worked, right? And it worked. No, we did not charge. We actually bought some stuff when we were there. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. Right. You know what? I live in farm country too. If I want any vegetable or cuts of meat or whatever, I go down and I say, "Hey, you want me to fix something for you?" And I get and haggle and wheel and deal with them. Yeah. We're all going to need that stuff soon. Keeping it for the panel though, because we're talking ghost month, haunted dolls, and stuff like that. Not current world affairs. Also, okay, summoning. This is also something I wanted to cover. Is summoning. First of all, don't do it. Okay, Tim is here in the background somewhere. If he's not in the chat, uh, Diane is asking, "Tim, are you still here?" Yes, Tim is here. Summoning. All right. Now, I don't mean invoking the elements or or good things. I mean summoning. Circle of salt with an incantation in a cemetery. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Just don't do that. And hey Joe, welcome back to the Quantum Show. Just talking about remember the rock shop? It was crazy, wasn't it? No ghost. There was no ghost. That was a long time ago. Time goes so fast. But summoning. Don't please don't do muggles. Muggles watching. Do not do this. Do not evoke anything. Okay. Ask for attributes. Ask okay. If you must do anything, start it with in perfect love and perfect trust. I invite you in. Right. I invite you to me. Don't say I control you. You're No, it's not the movies. Okay, it never works. If it works at all. Thank you, Joe. Oh, I'm no fun. Right. Well, I don't want people to go around and say, "Yeah, the dude from the quantum show said I could go to the cemetery with salt and stuff, and it didn't work. Now I got a ghost." Okay, but evoking, right? Evoking is different. Evoking is waking them up and getting the attention of. Go for it. Do it your own risk, right? If you want to evoke the wrong things, right? That is up to you. They're not going to be hanging around. Literally, they got better things to do, right? And they're not going to mess with you at all. There's memes about evoking the great old one from Lovecraft. All right, they literally have better things to do. You're not going to evoke the great old one because you need a hug, right? And that's the joke. I can't think of the name right now. If y'all can think of the name, let me know, right? Uh, Diane, there is a whole bunch to this. There is a lot to this. Um, but I think they're talking about something else. I wasn't following the black salt. I wasn't following the black salt is salt. Okay, it's salt. Unless you do something to it. Unless you imbue it or do something to it. All these things, right? The holy Sharpie. There, you know what I've done to it? I've done it is the quantum Sharpie. Why? Because of this stuff, right? um, and we went to that place. Summoning, don't do it. All right. Go to these other shows. I will not leave links. You can see it for yourself, right? You can look at it for yourself. And wait, interview. Oh, okay. Derek is saying this new interview with the vampire on Prime Video from Amazon is insane. I'm guessing you like it. Good reviews. Cool. I haven't seen it. I don't really like those kinds of things. I tend to pick out the CGI and the props. Like, oh yeah, there's duct tape. There's a Pringles can. There's some. Oh, that's CGI, and I can't get myself. I can't get myself into watching things like that. Though the last thing I did watch, I still did that, but it was funny. Was Renfield on Amazon Prime? It was cool. Okay, Joe is talking about black salt. Nah, if swallowed helps you eliminating toxin, it has salt and right. Well, that's some health food stuff. Yes, that is quantum for sure. That's quantum for sure. Okay. Now, if you want to evoke, I've talked about evoking, awaking, getting the attention of. That's okay because you want that to happen for a reason. Sure, do it your own risk, but do not go summoning something that has the ability to make your life a living hell. Please don't do that. And going back to Robert the Doll being such a now these I don't have any personal experience with Robert the Doll, but people have said they have talked shit to it. They have taken pictures without permission. That's something else. You got to ask permission, and you have to be respectful, or it will, it or a piece of it, or an acolyte, or whatever will follow you home and cause all kinds of weird shit to happen. There's this one guy. He had a YouTube has had I don't know, haven't watched him in a while. A YouTube show. He lived in Florida. Lives I don't know. Haven't seen him in maybe 2 years. Haven't watched for him for 2 years. He went and he messed with Robert the Doll. and he bought one of the things from the gift shop, a miniature. His van that he bought as a fixer-upper, everything kept breaking. Everything kept breaking, right? And he kept trying, at first, he kept trying to say, oh, well, I didn't do this right, or it was broken when I got it. But it literally broke and quit running while he was on the highway. Hey, Amy, welcome back. It is the end of Ghost Month. Yes, I am doing and talking about Robert the Doll. Remember? Oh, it's crazy stuff. I am staying away. Cthulhu, that's what I was talking about. I am staying away personally from Robert the Doll. Amy is definitely quantum. Look here, look here, look here. Oh, yeah. See? In spirit, every show. The bodies, the documents, the crap. Taste like disclosure. But thanks for coming by, Alien Girl. I was I was getting through the haunted doll aspect. I've gone and please watch the beginning of the show if you get a minute. Thank you, Alien Girl, Amy, Nikki Starchild. Heck yeah, you heard it here. Alien Girl 111 likes the Quantum Show. Heck yeah. And okay, Robert the Doll. This dude was not respectful, and his van broke down on him literally while he was using it in the highway and would not get fixed later. Right? It just kept breaking, kept breaking, breaking. Finally, he said, "I'm at my wit's end. I'm about to sell this van." It was a conversion van. It was like a family outing thing. What he did was he took, he wrote a letter. He lives across the state. He wrote a letter to the museum housing Robert the Doll, asking that people do this all the time. They write a letter apologizing to Robert the Doll, and they read them to this doll. And they, Robert, we gotta don't make eye contact, all that stuff, right? Robert, we got a letter from this guy. Please, he says he's sorry, and he didn't mean any disrespect, and he's very sorry. There we go. I can't ask for a better endorsement right there. Can I? That's the next T-shirt. There you go. T-shirt slogan right there. Oh boy, Amy, your live chat addiction is in full swing. I hear you. I went to another show right before this one, and it was great. It was Michigan Bigfoot Paranormal with Wayne, and it was so good. He kept shouting me out, and I was like, "Oh my god, I must count for something!" And yeah, we are one community. I am a fringe part of the fringe community, right? Quantum Show is fringe of the fringe. You got Amy, you got Rich, you got Dark Hour, and you got Third Phase. I'm on the fringe of that fringe. We're all fringe. I'm on the fringe of that fringe. And though I am definitely quantum. So but and okay, Ghost Month, right? See, it's kind of what we do here. I talk to my people in the chat. I talk to them. I acknowledge them. I shout them out. I do all that stuff. And I am not going to ignore my chat like Third Phase. Like now I do like Third Phase's work. Okay. I do like their work. I like what they do. On a personal level, leave a little bit to be desired. Only on a personal level, because I struggle to see other people's points of view. They do not, right? They report things, and I support that, right? And there are other, oh man, this is old news. This is maybe 2 years old, right? Doc Skinner. Doc, I'm sorry, but I cannot work with you, bro. You never wanted to work with me. Works for me. I tried. I wanted to discuss something with you the way I discuss with my people here. You didn't want to deal with it. You didn't want to. And last time I'm going to mention that in a solo. Moving on, right? Yeah, I don't have the big show effects. Don't need them. Don't feel like I need that stuff, right? Other people do, and that's great. That's great. I don't. This is me. This is my personal stuff about this stuff. Okay. Hey, you know what I got that everybody else ain't got? Okay, see that? I've talked about it, not talking about it until I come out again. Something I got that nobody else has got, and they're not doing anything about it. The ones that do have it. That was something else from the show earlier. Oh man, she got tech specs. I was given tech specs in two different two different angles. Okay, two different angles. It was crazy. It's still crazy, but I wouldn't have it no other way. Yeah, I'll come out here wearing a Star Wars T-shirt. All right. Anyway, going back to Ghost, right? Ouija boards. Oh, I'm at an hour already. Well, I'm going to cover Ouija boards. I don't even care. Thank you, Diane. I am good the way I am. Thank you, Diane. Um, you know what? Let's get this on record. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate having you here, talking to me on Facebook, talking to me. I never ignore anything unless it's a scammer troller. Never do. And I like being able to talk to people. I may not respond immediately, but yeah. Okay. Oops. Let me see here. And that's thank you, slow chat. I'm sorry you broke your belt. Right. All right. Ouija boards. First of all, don't. Unless you know what you are doing. All right. Now, the box says you open and you must close it. All right. No. Right. This is not the kind of thing that you can use game instructions, right? Especially board game instructions. It is not a standard board game. It is a way. Here's the essence of what a Ouija board does. Do you know what CE5 is? CE5 is the way to concentrate, get everybody on the same wavelength, concentrate to make a thing happen. That is kind of like manifestation or a group. What a Ouija board is it gets people so focused on something they manifested, whether that be a tulpa, a gateway, talking to local spirits, or there are spirits out there. All right, now a lot of people disagree with this. Zozo, right? I'm not afraid of saying the word Zozo, as in it's not evoking, it's referring, right? All right, yeah. Now, Derek, here's where there's a partial agreement here. All right. Partial agreement. $5,000 for, yeah. What's his name doing that? That is shameful. I totally agree with you. However, you can do it yourself. You don't need to be with that guy. Right. That guy, Greer. All right. Five. Now, if he was doing $15, I'd do it because he ain't paying. All right. let's take a standard CE5 event, right? How did we get here? It's Ghost Month. Well, it's related. See, that's how the quantum works. So, CE5 event hosted by Stephen Greer. Now, you got to get yourself there, house yourself, feed yourself. Then you go listen to this dude basically leading a group meditation. All right. So, and it's $5,000 to park your butt on a picnic table or a a lawn chair or beach towel that you brought, right? And he charges these people $5,000 a piece, and he has 15 or 20 people throwing buckets of money at him to go do this, right? Right, right. Dorothy is. The guy even says himself. You know what I heard him in an interview say. All right, I heard him. I agree, Joe, and I'm getting to that part, right? These people give him the money because they think it does something for them. The fact that they feel like they're getting a value for it. I am not that person, right? I am not going to give money or charge money for mystical arts because everyone has access to it. It's like a rock in the yard. If you go and get a rock in the I'm not going to try selling it for $20, right? It's a rock in my front yard. He's doing that to suckers. Okay, all those people are rich suckers. And if I dare say, if you were to get Greer face to face and talk to him and say, I understand and I want to be a part of it, but I can't afford your events. He would do it for you for $15. You know, I bet he would. I bet he would because he can't be so evil. I don't think he's evil. I really don't. All right. And that's where the partial agreement disagreement or is where people will pay. If I was to go get a rock in my yard and say it's something special and sell it for $20 online, somebody would do it. Somebody would buy it, right? I could say I could literally go say this is a rock from the river where there was a revolution. Well, you know what? There's a million of those because this is Revolutionary War area. All of it has rivers going through it. The river is literally like 50 feet or not 50 feet, but 150 feet that way, going that way. Is literally right over there. I could go get a river and say Revolutionary War rock. They all are. Okay. They're all Revolutionary War rocks because this is Revolutionary War area. It is a rock that was here at the time. I can guarantee it because it's a rock. And say it came from the river from the Revolutionary War. I'm not lying, but they all are. Literally, they all are. And that's what dude's doing, Greer, that's what Greer's doing, is selling the obvious. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. So if anybody, buyer beware, if anybody wants to do that, it's on you, right? If them rich people want to do that, $5,000 for a 2-day event, it's on you. That's why I don't do cruises or anything like that, right? Pre-earth water. Whoo, okay. Calming down from the Greer episode. Gotta calm down from that. Oh, Ouija boards. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm over an hour now. The solo is on extended time. Had all kinds of people come by. It's awesome. All right. If you're gonna use a Ouija board, know what you're getting into. Know yourself first. Because if you're insecure, Zozo is running around out there, right? He will come to you, but you can banish him. He works on fear. All these little creatures, they work on fear. Now, if anybody comes around You can banish them. You can use your cool Revolutionary War rock and banish them. So crazy. But you can sage. They're very basic. Okay. They're this close to being thought form tulpas created by TikTok, right? The Charlie game, totally uh made up by the user, right? Or it's fake. And no, nothing's wrong with tools. Know how to use them, okay? Know how to use right. I love Sage. Oh, and Quantum Show says cultural appropriation of methods of doing things is stupid. Don't shovels. Ancient Egyptians used shovels to dig holes. Are we appropriating? No, that's not cultural appropriation. That is an urban that is an urban legend made by uppity gringos. Okay. Mm. You want to talk about cultural appropriation? We will have another show, right? But that is not something I want to talk about because it is for the TikTok crowd, right? And this, you guys are not them. We are not them. All right. You're going to use a Ouija board, right back, right? You're going to use a Ouija board, know what you're doing. All right. Set yourself up some rules. Have your banishing stuff ready. And if you if you do bring something in, make sure you cross-reference who you are talking to. Okay, ask for some information and say you are gone now, and then everyone can do this. Ask your spirit guide to help you get rid of these people. They will help you out, right? Because that is squarely you bringing baddies in. That's free will. You asking them, and they can't interfere with that. You asking them to help you get rid of baddies, that is squarely within their realm of shit they can get done, right? They can help you. Don't rely on them because they're also there to guide you, not hold your hand through a learning experience. They're setting things up so you have learning experiences. Not setting up to fail, setting up to learn. They don't want your life to be in the worst of ways. Spirit guides, they don't. They want your life to be in the best of ways. But if you're going to be an idiot and stubborn and arrogant, they're going to let you fall and learn from it. They have staff meetings. Okay? They have staff meetings on you and me. I'm sure there's a file in the Akashic records with all my idiocy in there. All the stupid stuff I've done is in my Akashic record right there. All they have to do is access that time index, that reality index. So, okay. Last thing I'm going to say about Ouija boards is if you're going to use them, be careful. Get somebody who knows what they're doing. Don't be afraid of everything because that is where the weird spirits latch on and ride you and stick to you and haunt you. All right. Now, I don't think I missed anything. I think I covered right. Oh, Dorothy. I'm hoping mine will be a comedy show, a tragic comedy show, right? And something we can do. I've heard of this being done. I have not done it myself. Is we can go and do a current review. It's a meditation, and that's another reason why I want to get a get a rehypnotize you and go back and look at your past lives. I want to do one of those because I want to see kind of where I came from. Not that I'm going to focus on it, but where I've been, because I'm not there anymore. We're all here now for a reason. A regression. And I want to find out kind of what makes me me. Because I have all these weird little tendencies that could be genetic, physically, could be spiritual. And I'd like to find out where that comes from. You know, I want to go meet the person who did Rebecca, the ghost guide. I want to go meet hers. She typically works online, but I don't really work online well with that because I got too many distractions, too much crap in my head floating around. Face to face. I want to do a face to face one. So, okay. Ouija boards, generally don't mess with them because muggles, you don't know what you're doing. Don't mess with it. All right? Like, if an arc welder, right? If you don't know what you're doing with an arc welder, don't mess with it. If you don't know what you're doing with complex machinery, don't mess with it. Same thing with a Ouija board. All right? Don't mess with them. Leave them alone. And, all right. Everybody, that has been the first hour solo. Thank you. We're 1 and 16 and a half minutes over. Time for a break. The panel will be up in a little while, probably half an hour. Got to take a break. And I want some more coffee. Me and Amy want coffee. Because the bodies that documents the craft need coffee, right? Thank you, Lynn. I want to thank everybody for coming to the show. This has been the last show of Ghost Month. We're going to talk about all this stuff in the panel, okay? Links coming to Facebook or email. I'm going to smells like disclosure. It tastes like disclosure. But I like that even more. Now you're on record. Dorothy has coined smells like, where are we at? Smells like disclosure. There we go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send a screenshot to Amy on Twitter. And I'm going to go, look, new slogan right there. Let's see. Let's get a good pose going. There we go. That'll make a good screenshot. Send it to Amy in Twixter. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was getting ramped up because coffee, and I will send links out. Lynn, you will get a link. Frank will get a link. Joe will get a link, and Raven will get a link. Everybody who wants a link can get a link. I think Keith is rounding down his night, so hopefully he shows up. I'll send him a link. Don't know if he'll be here because he runs out of steam about this time. It's later where he is. Alrighty then. Thanks everybody. I'm calling it the first hour. We're 1 and almost 19 minutes in. 1 hour and 19 minutes. This has been the first hour solo of the Quantum Show, the last show of Ghost Month. Thanks everybody. A happy Halloween coming up on Tuesday. Halloween is in 4 days. I will not have a show, right? Raven's got a Halloween special coming up, I believe. So, yeah. Have a happy Halloween. Keep it quantum. Pushing buttons. Pushing buttons. See you in a half an hour. It's break time. Pushing buttons.